Hey everyone, Brent Yaks with Awcom. Today I want to talk to you about a common issue that we see with IT providers. You first get one, you sign up a contract with them, everything's moving forward great, you're in a honeymoon phase, they're solving a challenge that you had, they're getting a project rolled out that has taken you too long to roll out, there's some type of a plaguing issue that they've been able to diagnose and solve for you, and everything seems great. You have this new relationship that seems to be working very well. And then over time, a year, 2, 3 years into the relationship, it seems like things are a little bit off. They're not as good as they once were. The response time has slowed down, or they're not getting you the type of results that when you initially had signed the contract, they were giving you. Or in the worst case scenario, you just have lost trust that what they're bringing up to you is for the best interest of you or your organization. So what I want to talk about is kind of what leads to that, where that comes from, and maybe a way that you can address that. So generally when we're speaking with new partners of ours, we're talking about sort of the adversarial relationship that gets created in the IT space. And the reason that this happens, and kind of what leads to all of these long-term issues that show up out of nowhere, is that normally in IT services, the incentive model is not aligned correctly. And what I mean by that is when you're working with an IT vendor, at some point something may go wrong. There may be an issue. There may be a server failure. There may be a hardware failure. A switch goes down. A router goes down. An internet provider goes down. Or maybe somebody gets attacked and you have a ransomware attack, or somebody just deletes something. And what happens in that environment is that as a business, you're down. You're not able to operate normally how you would. So for you, it's a very tough situation. Unfortunately, sometimes with IT vendors, they're getting financially compensated very well during that outage for you, or during that downtime, or that new server that needs to be implemented, or the new switches that need to be implemented. So there's a misalignment of incentive models where when you're suffering, they're winning. And when that happens over time, whenever you start hearing about, hey, maybe we should do this, or maybe we should do that, or maybe here's a new project, well, that trust has been deteriorated there because you're now thinking, wait a minute, am I doing this because the vendor is making more money off of this? Or am I doing this because as a business, I actually need this? So we see this commonly, and it's really just an issue of when incentive models are not aligned correctly, when you are losing and the vendor's winning, or when you're winning and they're losing because they're not getting any additional money, there comes a problem. It creates this animosity or adversarial relationship between two entities. Now, when you think about what is a great partnership, right? When you work with somebody who it seems to always work out well, everything goes well, everything is exactly how we want it to be, it's usually when those incentive models are win-win. If you do well, they do well. If you lose, they lose. And that's what you need to do with an IT vendor. You need to find a way to make it so the contract reflects the fact that when you win, they win. When you lose, they lose. Because if the incentive models are out of alignment, inevitably you will lose trust. You will not be 100% confident that the direction they're asking you to go or the things they're asking you to do is coming from a position that is in your best interest or theirs. And when that discrepancy exists, unfortunately, it deteriorates that relationship over time.